Right, I'm out after grey squirrels again this evening, and I'm going to try and put a bit of an emphasis on affordability. Now, as nice as it is to use absolute high-end kit, I just want to try and prove that you don't have to spend an absolute fortune to buy yourself a dependable hunting setup. Now, in terms of the gun that I'm going to be using this evening, I've got the Walther Rotex RM8 UC, and I've paired it with a Richter optic scope. And this is a combo that you can buy for about £600. So although it's not cheap, it's certainly not a fraction of the price of some of the kit that you could be using. Now also, sticking with the theme of affordability, I want to try and see if I can use a slightly less expensive bait, or more to the point, whether there is something that can compete with peanuts, which really aren't cheap. Now in the past I've tried using cut maize, I've used sunflower seeds, and up until now nothing has rivaled the appeal of peanuts. This evening I'm going to try to use whole maize. I've been feeding it for a couple of weeks alongside the peanuts, and we'll see how that fares. So let's get into the hide and see how it goes. Well, that is definitely 1-0 to the peanuts. Now, I have deliberately put the maize in the right-hand feeder because it's got a bigger feed tray. That means it's obviously got better access, so I thought that might give it a slight edge, but nonetheless, that squirrel still wanted a peanut. One thing that's probably worth pointing out, you may recall that the last time I was shooting from this hide, Nikki and I were getting eaten alive by midges. We've got on loads of fly spray, loads of insect repellent. It's working so far. We absolutely stink, but at least we're not getting bitten. Well, just like those two squirrels, that woodpecker also chose a peanut over the maize. Well, that one might have been on the maze hopper when I shot it, but it was most definitely eating a peanut. That is another nice clean kill. I've got to say, so far, the Walther Rotex RM8 and Richter optic combo are making pretty easy work of this. And another one. That's going to be the last one, and that makes it an absolute whitewash to the peanuts. Now, I know a lot of you will no doubt say that if the peanuts hadn't been there, the squirrels would have taken the maize, and you'd probably be right. But the way I look at it is, what if there's a natural food source on offer that is more appealing than that maize? If there's another bait that you are using other than peanuts and it's doing what you want it to and it's giving you good results, then stick with it. But as far as I'm concerned, I have yet to use a bait in my feeding stations that can rival the pulling power of peanuts. And for me, to get the absolute most out of my time in the field and to do the best job I can in terms of reducing this destructive pest that has such a negative impact on our woodland environment, then I think that justifies the extra spend on peanuts. Now, one of the affordable options that has delivered the goods today is the kit, so I'm going to talk a little bit more about that now. So the gun is the Walther Rotex RM8 UC, as I've already said, and it retails for less than £550, which is brilliant value for what is a very accurate pre-charged recoilless air rifle. Now, its features include, it's a multi-shot, so it runs an 8-shot magazine. That's driven by a really positive side bolt action. Comes with a silencer, which is fairly effective, and it's housed in a really robust synthetic stock. I've had this gun now for years and it's still good as new. It's still delivering the goods, and as you should have seen this evening, it's doing the job when it comes to pest control. The scope that I'm using is the Richter Optic Exact 4-16 by 40, and it retails for just £65, which I think is remarkable value for what is actually a pretty decent little telescopic sight. Now, it's parallax adjustable, it's got a mil-dot reticle, and that reticle can also be illuminated in various degrees of brightness if you're dealing with tricky backdrops. Now, I've just dropped this one straight into my usual sports match scope mounts, but amazingly for its price, this scope actually comes supplied with mounts. Now, like the gun, it's given a pretty good account of itself this evening, and I will try to post reviews of both of these pieces of kit in the not too distant future. A great outing with the RM8 UC there, and another very conclusive outcome for the peanuts. Next up, something a bit different as I take a look at a great CO2 powered pistol from the shooting party. Now, I don't do a lot with pistols or CO2 airguns in general for that matter, so today's review is a bit of a departure. However, the shooting party has sent me the Air Force One Trophy Mark II pistol to take a look at, and I reckon it's pretty near perfect for some serious summer backyard shooting. Now, prices start at £189.99, and for that, I reckon it's a pretty decent setup. This recoilless pistol weighs 880 grams and measures about 36 centimetres in its basic guise. Now, it comes with some great accessories, and there's also a really good combo deal. Now, I'll talk a little bit more about those later, and there is also a seriously eye-catching Nero Rosa SE version which retails for £209.99. The standard model sits in a tough black synthetic handle, and there is a Picatinny type rail on the underside for accessory attachment. Now, the pistol grip has got some really grippy stippling on it and is very nicely contoured for a really comfortable hold. Now, it also has a very distinct palm shelf, and the overall effect is a pistol that handles really nicely. There's even more to this handle though, because the Trophy Mark II comes supplied with a quick detach shoulder stock. Now, all you do is pop out the caps from the rear of the handle, and the stock snaps securely into position, enabling you to shoulder the pistol for really secure shooting, whether you're using the supplied open sights or a more sophisticated sighting system. Those open sights can be adjusted for windage and elevation. You just need to use a screwdriver to make those adjustments. Now, they can be removed and replaced with a different sight like the PAO reflex sight, which actually comes supplied if you go for that ultimate combo package, which costs an extra £40. Now, that also includes the Air Force One Tactical Mono Grip Bipod, which, as the name implies, can be used as a grip or a bipod. Overall build quality is very good, and the black anodized finish of the metalwork has been neatly done. Now, the 21cm barrel is threaded for silencer attachment, and even if you don't go for the combo version, a Get Shorty silencer is supplied. Now, it's a pretty effective little silencer in spite of being compact, and it keeps the Trophy nice and quiet. The Trophy Mark II is powered by 12-gram CO2 capsules. Now, power output will vary depending on temperature, but it's capable of up to about 5.5 foot-pounds, and you should be able to expect between 45 and 55 shots from a capsule. Now, when you need to replace the capsule, it's simply a matter of unscrewing the cap from the front of the tube, pop out the empty one, then pop the new one in neck end first, screw the cap back on. Now, it doesn't have to go on incredibly tight, but as it gradually tightens, you should hear a very short, quiet hiss as the capsule is pierced. Now, the best thing to then do at that point is, with the pistol unloaded, cock it, fire it in a safe direction, and if the CO2 has pierced as it should, you'll get a pop from the muzzle. Now, this pistol is available in 177 caliber, which is branded as the target model, and the 22 is branded as the vermin model. The 177 version runs a 9-shot magazine and the 22 is 7-shot. Now, this pistol comes supplied with 2 magazines and a single shot tray. To load the magazine, with the clear faceplate facing you, turn the plate anti-clockwise until it stops. You then turn the magazine over and load the first pellet skirt end first from that opposite side. They then flip it back. That pellet is now holding the inner drum under spring tension, so you can return the clear faceplate, loading a pellet nose first into each bay from that side until it's full. The cocking and loading procedure is taken care of by a side bolt action. Now, the actual bolt handle is pretty small, but I've got large hands and I found it perfectly easy to operate. Now, you do have to be quite positive with it, but it keeps the shots coming and it's really well suited to rapid fire backyard plinking. The trigger mechanism is single stage and the curved metal blade serves as a really comfortable contact point. Now, the trigger weight is actually said to be adjustable from ½ pound up to 4 pounds, but there is no mention of trigger adjustment in the instructions, so I've left this one alone. It is perfectly good on its factory setting though. It's positive without feeling too heavy, and the break point is consistent and absolutely predictable. Accuracy wise, the Trophy Mark II is more than a very capable tin toppler, even when just using the supplied open sights. Now, put on that shoulder stock for added stability and you really shouldn't struggle to get 1-inch groups at 12 meters. Invest in a telescopic sight for it and I reckon you could do even better than that. And because this pistol packs quite a punch, it really wallops tin cans and other reactive targets out to quite a distance. So that's the Air Force One Trophy Mark II CO2 pistol from the shooting party. Now, it's a really nice piece of kit, it's pretty accurate, and that Get Shorty silencer and the shoulder stock are a real bonus. Now, it's also covered by a 1-year warranty, and of course there is also that great combo deal, but most significantly it is simply brilliant fun to shoot. I'm afraid that's all we've got time for in this week's episode, but as ever, I'll be back again with much more in 2 weeks' time. Thank you for watching, and do take a look at the subscription offers for Airgun World magazine. You should be able to find a link to that in the show description. Now, the latest issue has hunting articles from myself and Rich Saunders, plus top names including Mick Garvey and Gary Chillingworth. So, I'll see you again in a fortnight. In the meantime, enjoy your shooting and stay safe.